Good afternoon, good afternoon. I am Sandgrain1 and this is episode 5 of the Sand Pack series. The construction in front of me here is my peat farm. We are going to take a closer look at that later in the episode. But I want to visit some other locations in my base here first. This is my storage for cobble at the moment. This is the output from the quarry. So I have 6 double chests here filled, and it started to fill up with the last 2. The dirt status. I've used some dirt for the peat farm, and these are the resources I have gathered in the quarry. I don't think I have taken anything from here. Maybe some gold actually. Maybe I took some gold from it. But no diamonds. And the reason for that is that I actually used a pick on the diamonds. I created a branch mine. Tiny branch mine down here just to save the diamonds from any disasters. That is the quarry arm. I prefer to use a fortune pick, at least at this stage. Any diamonds is worth a lot for me, to me right now. I have switched out the biogas engine with a combustion engine here. This is an uncooled combustion engine. So this gate is sort of the same principle as I've been using in my power plant there. It just makes sure that the combustion engines do not explode. So that's instead of cooling it, and doing it this way will cause the core to start and stop whenever this engine heats up to max. But that I don't mind about anything about that. That's okay by me. The reason for switching out is that fuel lasts five times longer than biomass. And one good thing about biomass is that it can be used to generate IndustrialCraft power. I haven't started with that yet, but any IndustrialCraft power I can create is beneficial. While it is a lot harder for me to create IndustrialCraft power out of fuel. So if I have a machine that is in need of BuildCraft power, then I think I'm going to prefer combustion engines, at least for the time being. I have been exploring, so I found a jungle. I also found a forest actually, but I brought some jungle saplings back home, planted a giant jungle tree there. Another thing I found on my travel was this new type of bee. This is that jungle bee, or found in the jungle, and it's creating silky combs from me. Some cocoa beans as well, of course. I found a forest as well, so some forest bees, and I found some different type of bees here. Unfortunately, none of these are willing to work in the swamp. As you can see here, it's probably either temperature or humidity related, and I need to learn more about these. The bee breeding and the bee mechanics, so that we can get something valuable out of this. Anything else? Getting large quantities of fuel, but I'm running out of oil, so the oil well is now empty. Going to disassemble this shortly. But the most important thing here is probably the changes I did to the water supply. Here, the pump is now directly connected to the middle combustion engine, and there are pipes on both sides of it going to the left and right combustion engines here, and the combustion engines are now filled all the time, filled with water all the time. And yeah, so this solution avoids the problem with pipe intersections. So the water is now allowed to flow freely into the combustion engines without any problems. So one pump is now plenty to power, or one pump is now plenty when it comes to filling these engines with water. You might also notice here that I switched the pipe around, so it's not automatically refilling these engines with fuel. And that is because I'm now running low on oil, so I might actually decide to move this. And before moving it, I do not want these engines to be completely filled with fuel. So I'm now refilling these with a bucket. So that was the tour. You might have noticed that the Bog Earth factory has disappeared there, and that is because it's now under here. So this is my peat farm, fully automated. It is stopped at the moment because I have more peat that I know what to do with, at least for now. I will eventually let it run continuously, but before that I will need some kind of some system that can sort of take care of all the excess peat that I generate. I will also need to sort out some kind of continuous supply of resources, so that the farm can create new bog earth on its own. So this is the peat bog. This is the machine that plays the bog earth, and sort of it will also pick up any dirt. Replace the dirt with new bog earth blocks. And this is the turbary. The turbary is the machine that turns matured bog earth into dirt, and while doing so picks up one peat item. So peat is sent through this pipe and down. Let me just remove those and show you. So peat goes down. So this is the diamond pipe that is the filter. Dirt comes out from the bog, peat bog, and that also goes down. And you can see a rule for bog earth. So bog earth comes up from below and in the blue here, in order to refill the peat bog with new bog earth. Let me replace this. The rule here is going to be if there is less than 25%, in this case bog earth, in the machine, it should send a red pipe signal. So that will send a red pipe signal down into the machinery below there. So this is the conductive pipes providing power to the machines. And we will take a look downstairs shortly. This is the controller chest for now. It's a switch on off switch for the system. So let me start it by making room for more resources here. This gate is now telling the system to start so I made room in the chest, and that sort of triggered this blue pipe signal here that goes down here to this gate, where it is turned into a redstone signal, which is a signal to this engine to start running. So this is the peat-fired engine currently powering the system. The red wire there is currently not in use because I do not have a machine that can create sand for me. So sand will come traveling in here, and in this diamond pipe here it will be sorted down in order to refill this chest with new sand. And that is through this gate. As long as there is space in inventory, as long as there is space in this chest, this gate will sort of ask for more sand. So I need to create a system to create sand, or to provide sand to this system here. The other ingredient used in creating bog earth was dirt, and this is the dirt chest. The dirt chest is actually refilled from the system. As you can see, 4 dirt gives 6 bog earth, and each of these bog earth gives 1 dirt. Gives 1 dirt back. So this system will actually create dirt for me. So this is a sorting for dirt. Dirt should go down as long as there is room. If there is not room for any dirt, oh, there we have some ash as well. Going to take a look at that. Yeah, so as long as there is room for dirt, it will go down into the chest. If there's not room, the dirt will go here. It will be sorted in this gate here, travel to the yellow line and out. And that dirt can then be used in production of, for example, humus, which is used by tree farms. The last ingredients creating bog earth is the water bucket in the center here. And this is using the same principle as I used in the bog earth factory. When this gate detects that there is an empty bucket in here, it will emit a redstone signal, just a short pulse, and that will trigger the dispenser and cause the dispenser to refill the bucket with new water. Back here we also have the provider pipe for bog earth here. So if the peat bog is complaining about his storage of bog earth, it will send the red pipe wire signal here, and that will trigger this energy pulsar. And an energy pulsar is basically just a replacement for redstone engines. They power these wooden pipes that extracts items from, in this case it's from automatic crafting table. Oh, it triggered. And you know, that was perfect timing. It's now creating bog earth for me, and it travels slowly up to the bog, the peat bog machine. Perfect timing. Another thing that comes down here in addition to dirt is the peat, of course. So peat is sent in here as long as there is room. And yeah, again, like every other diamond gate I use here, if there's not room for peat here, the diamond gate will pick another alternative route. And in this case, all routes except the yellow has been occupied. So the peat will exit the yellow here. It will travel through the yellow here and out. So the output from this machine is these three components here, while it will store any resources that the machine will need to operate. One last thing, the refueling of the peat engine here. This peat engine is now complaining that it has less than 25% of fuel in its fuel slot here. So it has now triggered a red pipe signal that is again turned into an energy pulse powering this wooden gate. And that is now refilling the peat engine. So this is the sorting for that. All peat traveling here will now go into the peat engine. The reason why I have this chest, this buffered chest, and these pipes here and the diamond gates, instead of just placing this engine right here right away, is because the peat traveling past here, if I didn't restrict the amount of peat traveling here, the peat would fill up these 4 slots. And I do not want to use the peat engine for storage, especially not 4 stacks. Then it is better that I have this single slot here for 1 stack of peat. So that's the reason for all of this. Eventually, I hope that the creator of Forestry, the mod I'm using here, will fix that so that the peat will not enter these 4 slots, so that I can sort of remove all of this and just place the peat engine right there and sort of refill that slot with peat in the same way I do with these chests. One last thing related to the ash that we saw earlier. This peat engine will produce ash, and normally it will be stored in these 4 slots. But when you have any pipes going next to the peat engine will send the ash out into the pipe. So that's why I have a diamond pipe here. The ash will go into the diamond pipe here and travel out here through these pipes. So so these pipes here is actually a way of handling the ash. I think that was everything here. We even get to see all the components move. We cannot turn the system off again, I think. And we do that by sort of filling up all slots. So that turned the blue signal off and the engine stopped. So that was the peat farm. And the plan for the future is probably to expand with a factory for humus. And actually a few. I want at least a spruce farm and a birch farm. And yeah, I do have some birch saplings that to get me started with a birch farm. But I do not have any spruce yet. So I will need to do some more exploring. Try to find a taiga or something. And maybe even find some icy bees so that I can start breeding that as well. Another thing I need to do is to visit the Nether and the End. I want to create more autarchic gates like these. The gate type that are able to power these wooden pipes. And for that I need a lot of ender pearls, and I do not want to use too many ender pearls without securing a steady supply. And I need access to the End to do that. So the future plans: trip to the Nether, trip to the End, a few tree farms, expanding the quarry. This quarry is complete, so we need to set up, to move it basically, and maybe find a cold biome with wintry bees. So that will take at least one episode, I think. We'll see. But this is the end of episode 5. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.